for the wires up here, I did cut the fuel line, the little green fuel line that's in here, just to get it out, because it's a barbed nipple, so it'll be a pain in the butt to get out. To get the wires off, I got pliers, and I bent one way and twisted the other. If the whole thing bends, like if they both bend together and you can't get them to bend apart from each other, just grab a second pair of pliers and just both at the same time. Alright, so what I found out, well, first, as the post, on the other post, says 1/4 inch drill bit, I ended up going up to a 5/16 just because it's a little bit bigger, and to help clear out, you can kind of maybe see it down in there. So your goal is to basically drill through and circle it around. You don't want to go, you can go all the way through, that's what I did, but that's not the goal. It's not to go all the way through, it's just to separate the bracket from the bucket. So 1/4 or 5/16 and just kind of go up a little bit and just go to circular motion. 2-inch bolts with a 1/4 inch diameter, basically. I've got these ones, it's the Allen key on the bottom, and you just get a lock nut, throw it on top, it's like 11mm or something. Slap them together. Filter sock, if it'll focus. Kind of have to like fold up between this little arm here and the pump, otherwise it's gonna sit under the little whatever this arm thingy is and it won't sit down properly. The other one tucks in neatly. Oh, I forgot to mention, what you can see under the little goofed up part is a nylon spacer. It's about a 1/2 inch. That's what the post said, so got that in there. Next is to solder it. Alright, so we've got 6 inches of 5/16 fuel line hose right here. This is a little bit more than 6 inches, I think. They sold it by the foot, and I cut off 4 inches, probably. Yeah, so 8 inches, I guess. I just don't want to cut off too much and then need to go buy more, because with it being the daily and all, not really a way to get there. So that's all in. He didn't say whether he put this back on or not. I would assume you would. I don't see why you wouldn't. So I just, put it back on. You kind of have to put the spring on it and then on the arm in a weird way. It's doable. It's a little wonky. Soldering the arms in. So the one on the right is the positive, I believe, and the one on the left is negative. I'll double check that and we'll see. I'll let you know afterwards if it is or isn't when I get done soldering it. Alright, so I was right. Positive on the right side, negative on the left. Little overview so relative to what. So what I did is I just pulled the little arm brackets apart. I spaced them out, put the wire in, pushed down with the screwdriver while I was squeezing them together, and then I just kind of, as best as I could, kept the wires together and tight. I am going to add solder so they stay together, get a good connection and everything. But that's the wiring for it. I forgot to mention, I did try with, this is the AEM, I think it's like 1350, I don't know, it's a 340 liter per hour E85 compatible one. I tried to just cut off the sock and put this in there so you could have it lock in place. You don't really need it to lock in place. It's a pretty tight fit inside this little bracket. But if this filter and sock does fit, just put it on your fuel pump. Mine didn't, so it's got the provided one. Yeah. For the fuel line, maybe add a hose clamp. The original post, he said he did. I thought it was pretty tight. I can't pull it off like with a good amount of strength, so I don't think it's gonna be popping off anytime soon. If I do find a hose clamp that fits, I'll probably throw it on there though. So soldered in, add the retaining clip to this. Might be a couple other things I'm forgetting, and then throw it back in. I forgot to mention, when you're taking the original pump out, it's got these tabs on it, right? They're a pain in the butt. The best way to go about it is to come from under with the screwdriver and just kind of wedge a screwdriver in, then wedge another screwdriver in, hold those two against your body so that way they don't slide back out, and then add a third one into it, and then hopefully that gives it enough room to start sliding out. It's gonna be weird. You're gonna be using both hands and you're just gonna like push on the top with your fingers, whatever fingers are available. Be slow and methodical with it. You could see some cracking starting to happen on one of the tabs, or one of the like retaining parts of the bracket that holds the tab in place when I did it. So be nice and easy. Alright, so in terms of checking the pump to see if it's running, all you're going to do is you're going to, obviously, before you finish bolting in the tank, which we'll get to in a second, you're going to plug in the power supply for the fuel pump and then connect the fuel line. You don't need to connect anything else. That's just it. I guess it needs to have that back pressure on it before it does it. Because I tried to do it and I didn't have the fuel line connected, and it didn't pump anything or send any fuel. Once I connected it, it did send fuel. For the tank, what I did is I came up, let's see, trying to orient you here under the car. I'm on this side where the cross members meet. I was laying facing this way, arm under, slip it up kind of on top of this heat shielding so it gets above that because that kind of blocks you from getting it up. And then I shuffled my body this way under the fuel tank to push it up, and then I came under and I fastened the bolt that's here and the bolt that's here. I just got them on, not all the way tight, just to hold the tank. And then I came over and I got this one on just to hold the tank, and then I went around and tightened them all. These little fasteners might pop off. If you do want to put them back in, you're going to push this center tab. It goes inside this ring here, right? It's two pieces. You're going to pull this out, kind of push in the outside of it, like push in from here, and then push the center in, lock it in place. And then just connect the rest of the stuff, which I'm about to do right now. Alright, I've got everything hooked up. I did break one of these connectors taking it off, so always, be careful about that. I started at roughly like 9:30. It's about 3:30 now. So that's a rough estimate about how long it takes. It's very aromatic. Be in a well-ventilated area. Don't do it in your garage with the door closed. Alright, let's be smart, people. I think that's just about it. I don't think there's anything else to cover. The pump ran fine. We'll see how it goes during the tuning process, if it stays fine. If not, I'll probably make a post about it on the Focus ST forum or something like that. Be like, hey, here's what went wrong with my AEM pump install. Yeah, it's in there. It's tight. It's not going anywhere. Hopefully this helps with any questions. Yeah, if you do have questions, leave a comment or something. I will be sure to answer or ask somebody who knows if I don't know. Sorry for the unprofessional video. I'm only making this because there isn't a video on it. So the first of very likely none to come.